tell us your name and a little bit about your past.
My name is Eric Fosfit. I am currently the head mechanic for the Bontrager Livestrong cycling team. I've been working in professional cycling for about 6 or 7 years now. I've kind of bounced around from a couple teams. I spent 5 years working for Slipstream Sports when they jumped to professional continental status from TIA Cref to what is now the incarnation of Garmin, I guess Barracuda now. Last year, the end of the season, I had some discussions with Axel and ended up here because I didn't want to move to Europe, basically. I like racing in America. I like working with development teams. I like the way the riders deal with races. I like watching their career grow. You know, I like helping them learn about their bikes, learn about racing bikes, and being a positive influence. Hopefully.
Well, that kind of leads into the next question. How is it working with this development team? I know it hasn't been long, but what's the general feelings you get at this point?
The team is really, it's a super positive environment. The way that it's set up, the way that everybody interacts, the cohesive nature of the way the team works, from the level of the people in the home office that book our travel and plan our sponsors and get us equipment and work that way, to the race staff down to the riders. It's fun sitting around the dinner table with these guys. There's a lot of young energy, a lot of excitement. It's been a super positive thing. I think Axel did a really good job of setting this team up and collecting a group of riders that's going to function well together. I think in cycling, in any team sport, it's important to have people that fill roles within the team, but also when you're not in competition, that you can interact well with one another on a personal level, on a social level, because we travel around the world together, so especially the staff, we spend a lot of time together, we share hotel rooms together, we travel together, so we see a lot of each other. I think it's important, to have people of same personalities, or at least with the same goals, same desires for success and things like that. And I see it as one of the strongest points of this program.
How was the mood at dinner last night? Is everyone pretty excited?
Yeah, I think I don't know these guys that well yet. It's a new environment for me, but I think that Joe almost surprised himself a little bit with his performance in the time trial. We knew, obviously, after the Mogi on stage, the way he went up that climb, we knew he was on good form. We knew he could do something, and I know that in the past, just from talking to Axel and the information that I know and being around, I know he's sometimes had trouble with the time trials. He struggled a little bit last year here. He had a good ride on Mogollon and then struggled in the time trial, and he rode like an animal yesterday. It was impressive to watch. It was a really fun day to be in the car behind him. It was a pretty solid crosswind. There was a lot of nerves. We had him on some pretty deep dish wheels, and he was all over the road a little bit. But he caught his Minuteman before the turn, and we knew at that point, just right out of the blocks, that he was going well. We were a little worried he was gonna not be able to maintain that pace, but he caught his Minuteman before the turn. The guy hung on to him for a little bit, but then he crested the final roller before the downhill to the finish, and the way he rolled over the top of that climb, the acceleration he got was just down impressive. It was really cool to watch. It's one of the things I like about the development team, the young riders. Because you can see it when they've sort of broken through a wall. They've had a breakthrough of what they are actually capable of. It's not easy for these kids, 18, 19, 20 years old, to show up to these races and race against guys like Rory Sutherland, who's a seasoned professional, who's been around forever. Francesco Mancebo's here, he's a stage winner, so it's intimidating in one way, but then when they have days like Joe had yesterday, you can see it, and it was really funny. He went through the finish line, we pulled up to him afterwards, and he was cooling down, and he looks over at Axel and says, "I told you I've been working on my TT," and just covered in sweat and snot. It was hilarious. So